Okay, hi, hello everybody, how are you? Good, thanks, good. Hi, I'm John, maybe you know me. Today we'll be working with adjective clauses. We did this last week, so just let's review really quickly. What is an adjective?
Modify noun.
Modifies a noun, thank you, okay. And we said that a clause is like a short sentence, right? It's got a subject and a verb, okay? So an adjective clause is really just a short sentence that modifies a noun, okay? Okay, and last week we learned adjective clauses as subjects, okay? They were the subjects of sentences, but they can also be the object of a sentence, and that's what we're doing today, okay? What exactly does that mean? Okay, everyone's on page 225, right?
Yes.
Page 225, okay. Take a look at grammar note number 1, all right? And take a look at this one. It says, Ava's a writer. She was born in Poland. Okay. So, the first sentence is, Ava's a writer. She was born in Poland. Okay. Now, what we're going to do here is, okay, here we have it as she, right? Okay, good. So she is the subject of the sentence here, right? I'll do green for grammar, okay? Subject. All right. Here's the subject of the sentence. Now, sometimes it can also be the object of a sentence. All right, so look at that one. It says, Ava's a writer. I saw her on television. Okay, so now what we can do is we can turn both this subject and this object. Okay, so what's in this sentence? What's the subject? I. Good. What's the verb?
Saw.
Saw. Good. Who's the object? Her. Okay. So see, in this one, she, Ava, is the subject. Okay, and in this one, her. She's an object. Okay? Alright, so this week we're going to try to do this, okay? And there's a few small differences that come along with it. Nothing crazy though, alright? Here's the few things I want to show you first, okay? Grammar point number 1, alright? It's about our relative pronouns, okay? The first thing is that they always come at the beginning of the adjective clause. So the pronouns have 3 rules, okay? They always begin, or always start the adjective clause. Okay? So for example, Ava's a writer, she was born in Poland. How can I make those sentences into one thing? Good, close. This is she, right? Are we talking about a writer or are we talking about Ava? Ava, right? Okay, so Ava. Who was born in Poland is a writer. Very good, okay. Ava's a writer who was born in Poland. Yeah, okay, also okay, all right? Just a little bit different. Okay, so we know that here, our relative pronoun, it always comes at the beginning of the adjective clause, all right? Who? Boom, there it is, that's it. Okay? Good so far?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, second rule is that they never change. Oops. Change. Okay. Pronouns never change. Who is always who. It doesn't matter if it's singular or plural. Okay. We can say a person who or people who. Always the same. Okay? Alright, so the pronouns never change. And then the last thing is, let's see, it says object of the pronouns followed by the subject and verb. Right. Oh, right. Okay, so after this one, okay, who was born in Poland? It says that the object relative pronoun is followed by the subject and the verb of the adjective clause, which is normal. Okay, we already know number 3. But the verb in the adjective clause is singular. Right. So let's take a look at this one. What if we do this? Okay. In this one, okay, let's make an example with this. Okay, Ava's a writer. I saw her on television. How can I make that into with an object as the adjective clause? Good. All right. Don't worry about that one. Okay, so let's see. Number 3. We'll come back to that one. We'll come back to it. It's a little weird. We know that after this one comes the verb. Okay, it's always the pronoun plus the verb. Okay. We don't say who born in Poland was. No, we don't say that. Right? Who was? That's the only one. All right, pronoun plus verb. So those are the 3 things.
Who was born in Poland?
Yes, who was born in Poland, right? So it's just pronoun, verb. That's it. Okay? Easy peasy, right? Cool. Okay, so that's number 1. Okay? Number 2. Are you ready? It's on the bottom of 225. Are we okay here? Can I erase this?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so number 2. There are 2 kinds of adjective clauses. You guys remember?
Yes.
What are the 2 kinds?
Identifying.
Identifying and non-identifying adjective clauses, okay? Alright. And I told you guys last week, non-identifying adjective clauses, it's more like what? It's just extra. It's just extra information, right? It's extra information that you're adding, okay? The noun is very clear, right? You're just adding extra information. For example, this one, Ava, all right? Yesterday we did the reading. We know who Ava Hoffman is, okay? So everybody knows Ava, and we know that Ava is a writer, okay? This adjective clause, is it identifying or non-identifying?
Non-identifying.
Non-identifying, okay? All of us know who Ava is, okay? So, with a non-identifying adjective clause, there's a couple of rules. What are they? We can only use...
Ava is a writer.
No, oh wait, for non-identifying adjective clauses, we have 2 rules, right? You have to have, what are these? Commas, okay? Use commas. And this one, can I use that?
No.
No, okay. Who or which? Okay. All right, and then identifying adjective clauses. What's that? Is it extra information?
Too specific.
Yeah, it makes the noun very clear. Okay, makes the noun very clear. All right. So here's something that's kind of fun. When you're talking about an object, okay, and it's an identifying adjective clause. Sometimes, oftentimes, you can just take out the pronoun. Okay. Don't worry about that right now. We're going to practice that a little bit later, probably tomorrow. But it's actually one of my favorite rules. Okay, so watch out for that. Okay, we'll stop there for identifying clauses. Okay, all right. So go ahead and switch over to page 226. We're almost there. Okay. So now, when we're talking about the object of a sentence, okay, let's see. What's the example say in our book? Got it. Okay. Okay, so one more time, let's take a look at this. All right, so she is the writer. All right, and this is I met her. In this sentence, what's the subject?
I.
Good, okay, what's the verb?
Met.
Met, what's the object? Her. Okay, now, if I want to make these sentences into one, this is my adjective clause, how do I make this?
I met her.
I can't say she I met is the writer, right? That doesn't work. Okay. So she is the writer.
I met.
Who I met. Okay.
Is the writer.
All right. So we're talking about a person, right? So what pronouns can I use? Who. Good. All right. Thank you. Who or
Which?
That.
that. Okay. All right. Okay, today I want to tell you about a word that we don't use very often, okay? But there's one more here, okay? And that is whom. Okay.
Who I met.
All right. Whom is a very formal word. We don't use it when we speak, okay? We use it when we write sometimes, if it's very, very formal, okay? So, whom is the most formal. Who is okay. That is the most casual. Okay. Most people use that when they're speaking. Okay. But here's my other favorite thing. Remember I told you this? Okay. All right. So this is an identifying adjective clause, right? Who I met. Because you're like a writer. Which writer? The writer I met. Oh, okay. I understand. Identifying adjective clause. All right, because it's an identifying adjective clause, you can just take out the pronoun. And what do you get? Ice? She is the writer. I met, just like you said earlier, right? She's the writer, I met. Now, some people think that's the most casual, right? It's even more casual than that. Personally, I think it's much more clear, especially when you're writing, because you have just less stuff going on in a sentence, right? It's my personal opinion. Remember I told you the story about my paper at university, and I got a B because I used that too much? Okay, so that is why I like to use no pronoun. No pronoun, okay? All right, capiche? All right, so that's for people. And then what about for stuff?
Which?
Yep, we can use which. So we got this is for people. All right. Actually, they're over here. Okay. That's a person. Everyone knows that. Okay. We got